I'm Eliza Bethel, and this is the PSES iRacing Cup Series. I'm Eliza Bethel, and this is the PSES iRacing Cup Series. I'm Eliza Bethel, and this is the PSES iRacing Cup Series. I'm Eliza Bethel, and this is the PSES iRacing Cup Series. I'm Eliza Bethel, and this is the PSES iRacing Cup Series. I'm Eliza Bethel, and this is the PSES iRacing Cup Series. I'm Eliza Bethel, and this is the PSES iRacing Cup Series. I'm Eliza Bethel, and this is the PSES iRacing Cup Series.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're watching Max Speed TV.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Season 2 opener for the Pure Speed Elite Series here at Daytona International Speedway. Considered the most prestigious and important race in NASCAR, whomever reigns victorious tonight will not only carry the momentum forward in the races to come, but also the bragging rights in winning at this iconic track. The excitement and anticipation going into tonight is at an all-time high as these drivers suit up and fasten those belts as they prepare to hit the track. I'm Eliza Bethel here with Jordan McGraw, and welcome to Season 2. J-Mac, we got you in the booth. How's it going tonight?
Oh, it's going great. Ready to watch some exciting 2x2, 3x3 action around the 2.5 mile superspeedway that is Daytona Superspeedway. That was a little redundant, but I can't believe that we're getting to do this. Calling an iRacing series, one of the best ones out there. This is going to be a fun night or Eliza, I should say.
I think so, and we're here for qualifying, so it's going to be a ton of fun here tonight. But let's take a look at these guys. We got the 84 out on track, and he's looking pretty good so far. That's Jacob Locklear. He is Team FTR, which is actually Team Frozen Toes Racing out here. So you see the 33 behind him, but these guys are going out for qualifying time here tonight. And I gotta ask, J-Mac, Jordan, I should say, how should we be looking tonight as far as working with everyone? What should we expect here at Daytona?
Well, expect a little bit of everything. It just depends on how aggressive these drivers want to be from the get-go of what we're going to see. The racing at this track, especially on iRacing, it lends itself to that 2x2x2 action, that side-by-side racing that we all love. And I don't know. I'm honestly not 100% sure what we're going to see tonight. Like I said, it just all depends on how hard these drivers want to race right from the green flag. But these drivers are hitting the track hard here for qualifying already in this group qualifying session, trying to get that lap time in.
Yeah, I mean, once they get all bunched up together, we're going to see a lot of working together. Daytona is not as big as Talladega, so these guys really have to give each other just a little bit of space. You're going to see, the second guy, they're going to be pushing that first guy out there, the leader. But after that, you're not going to see a lot of contact between these guys. If so, I mean, any movement whatsoever is going to cause a big one, and we might see it tonight. These guys are brand new racing with each other for Season 2, but we have a lot of same faces as Season 1, but also a lot of new ones. And you can see the times here. We have the 88 so far sitting on pole. We still have 7 minutes left in qualifying, but these guys are looking pretty strong out here. Daytona, though, it's, you got to hug that bottom line, get that fastest lap, and if I'm out there racing, I want to get pole. I want to be out front. I don't want to be in the back. Jordan, what do you think? What would you want to be out there?
It all depends. If you're in the back, then you want to be back there. But if you either want to be at the very back of the pack or you want to be at the very front of it, you don't want to be in the middle. This track, it's nice and wide when you're out there by yourself, but you get a lot of other drivers out there, and suddenly it narrows up quite a bit. Even when they're side by side, there's just not a lot of room to work with, and this track tends to lean toward 3-wide racing. 4-wide is when things get really hairy, and usually if they're 4-wide here, something has gone horribly wrong. But expect 3-wide racing. Expect these drivers to be in some really tense situations that they'll have to navigate with some panache. They're gonna survive and make it to the end of this race.
Absolutely. I do want to give a shout out to everyone out there watching. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. It is the season opener. So exciting for these guys to be out here. And, I'm excited to be here. So it's very, very cool. Pure Speed Elite Series, second season. we got to get it going. I'm excited. But you see the 31 out there on pole so far, the 87. I mean, just look at how close these times are. We're going to see it. It's Daytona. You got these guys out there. They can work together with that. So we're going to see a lot of close times. And the more you work together, the guys in the back that have the draft, they're going to get a little bit of faster time. So they're going to be moving around quite a bit as qualifying is going on.
Yeah, this is one of those rare qualifying sessions where you have to be super aggressive. If you have a run, you have to take it because you need to maximize that lap time to put yourself up the charts there. Right now we have, it looks like 7 drivers in that 45-second bracket, and then about 10 more in that 46-second bracket, and then we fall into the 47s and 48s after that. But the times are relatively close, but they're spread out pretty decently too. There's 2 drivers with a 45-1, and then it's 3/10 back to that third place car of Kelly Melanson. So right now it's all about who can get that run, who can get with their drafting buddies, and who can maybe steal a little draft off of some drivers in front of them right before you get to that start-finish line so you can maximize that lap time.
Absolutely. And we have a couple of teams out here. One of them is actually very big. We have JSR. They have 5 teammates out there. So I'm curious if that is going to come into play. Of course, they do have to be around each other, first of all, to make that happen. But I guarantee that team communication is going to be huge tonight. You have to have the strategy. You have to take to pit road at the same time to make it work. If you don't have that happen, it's out the door. You could be by yourself out on track, and that is not what you want to see, especially here at super speedways such as Daytona. We got the 88 on track. That is Doc Holliday. A lot of guys from Xbox know the name, so it's good to see him out here. He's currently in position 8, so hopefully he'll get a couple of better time lapse out there. But 3 minutes to go in qualifying so far. We got the 89 out there of Cole Martin. He's in 9th right now. Still a little bit to go, so a lot can happen. You've seen the ticker change a lot for qualifying times. The 11 out there has got a pole time of 45.139. Close behind him is the number 87 of 45.150. So yeah, it's just going to be very close tonight. And like Jordan said earlier, you either want to be out front leading the thing, or you want to be in the back and just let everything happen and try to go around it.
Yeah, but at some point, sometime during the night, you've got to make that way to the front. And if you're trying that more conservative strategy, stay in the back, you got to time it right. If you go up there too early, then you still manage to get in the big wreck, and you rode around all night for nothing. And if you time it too late, well, then you rode around in the back and finished 20th. So this place is tough, man. You have to figure out where to go, when to go, and how to get there. And you're trying to do that while as we're getting some action here in qualifying, they're all getting on top of each other. The 24 tried to use underneath the yellow line. That caused a little bit of a dust-up involving several drivers here, including the 89 of Cole Martin, who we had been riding with there.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the replay here, but man, oh man, I'll tell you what, don't try that at home, folks. You do not want to drive on that yellow to try to pass people. I guarantee he will not be doing that in race. Qualifying, though,
But that was a lesson learned.
Definitely lesson learned, but you see the 15 of Corey Andon out there, and definitely not working out too well for them. If that was in race and you have 20, 30, 40 cars behind you, that right there is what causes the big one. So lesson learned for him, but he could have been playing around a little bit out there, but only a minute left in qualifying. So if you're going to try to get that time, you need to do it now.
Yeah, this is not a good time to be playing around. I think this is that last minute. Everyone's trying to get that lap in, trying to improve their lap time as with as little time left. I'm pretty sure there's probably some angry drivers, but we have an absolute wad of cars going into turn 3 here, led by the 85 of Brad Herman. He's got the 12 behind him, the 50 of Honeycutt, John Honeycutt behind him. Oh, they're making some contact coming down to the line. That's going to hurt their times as they dive bomb down across the start-finish line. Wild finish here to the end of this qualifying session.
You know, and I'm kind of curious with some of these guys. Some of these guys are not teammates. I mean, they are competitors, so maybe they're probably trying to block a little bit of the draft so that they cannot get a better time than them. You know, when you're drafting with people, if you're in the back of that pack, you will get a better time. So some of them might have been trying to block that a little bit. But qualifying is over here, guys. And we're going to get to the racing in a second. And I am so excited. Yes, we'll see who is out on pole. But yeah, we're going to get to the grid shortly and get this race moving here tonight at Daytona.
Yeah, right now it's looking like Austin Reedy with a time of 45.138 is on the pole. Him and Andrew Harris are going to make up that front row with John Honeycutt and Kelly Mellinson on the second row. So very, very tight there. Only 12 thousandths of a second separated our top two drivers. And then we got a little bit of a gap back to the pack. Our times really didn't change that much. We had one other driver get into the 45s, and then most of your field in the 46s during that session.
Welcome to Daytona. It's always tight here, and the racing is gonna get even tighter. We're gonna have close to 40 cars out there, so these guys, they're gonna have to buckle their belts and hold on, because it is gonna be quite a ride. If you guys have been on here, once you get into the draft, you cannot literally see anything in front of you. You see the back of the car in front of you, and you have to pretty much guess where the turn is coming and where you're gonna turn. But guys, these guys are gridding up, and we're getting ready to take the grid walk out here. But it's gonna be cool. Jordan, I'm very excited. Season 2 at Daytona. These guys are starting to line up, and it is already moving fast. Again, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. You guys are all awesome. We appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy the race. All right, here we go. Starting grid row 1, we're going to have Austin Reedy on pole with the 87 of Andrew Harris in second. He's going to be on the outside. Third, we're going to have John Honeycutt in row 2 with fourth, we have Kelly Mellinson in the 14 car. Row 3, we have James Hudson in fifth in that 53 car with Jason Keffer. He's going to be in sixth. Row 4, we have Jaden Gimble in that number 20 with Kyle Benson in the number 4. He's going to round out the top 8 there. And in row 5, we have the 88 of Doc Holliday on the inside with Cole Martin in that 89 on the outside.
Row 6, Corey Andon makes up the inside with Michael York on the outside in 12th. Brad Herman and Brandon Gillis make up row 7. Suave, the one name, on row 8, along with Cade Gimble. Row 9 is Chandler Hayden. He'll be on the inside of Jake Roll in 18th. And in 19th and row 10, Nicholas Parrish alongside Christopher Fathke in 20th.
Row 11, we have Michael Kenzel in the 37 on the inside with the 84 of Jacob Locklear on the outside. Row 12, we have Marcus Adams in the 31 with Ryan Steenbachers in the number 799. Row 13, we have Andrew Wisdom in the 6 with the 17 of Matthew O'Brien. Row 14 is the 33 of Tyler Werner, along with Edward Scherer in the 28th position.
And an interesting note there, Frozen, those last 6 cars opted not to put a time down in qualifying, so they are going to be attempting that conservative strategy of riding in the back. Marcus Adams, Ryan Steenbachers, Andrew Wisdom, Matthew O'Brien, Tyler Werner, and Edward Scherer are those drivers. I am going to botch these names horribly. I'm going to try not to, but we're starting to get to know these drivers. We're new to covering this series. We're excited to be here, but if we mess up your name, do not take it personal.
It is
You're
not
terrible with
personal.
names.
I do butcher them again. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are under pace lap here, getting ready to start at Daytona for the season opener. It is absolutely crazy, but Jordan makes a good point. Some of these guys did not qualify, and there's a reason for that. They want to just let it happen, hang back, and kind of get moving towards when it counts. So we'll see how that works out for him and how strategy is going to play out.
I'm getting excited, Eliza. I'm getting really excited. It's going to be fun.
Austin Reedy in that 11, he is our pole sitter. He will lead us off to green here at Daytona. So as soon as that pace car moves off the track, they will get going green. So get ready, guys. We're getting ready. The pace car is off, and Austin Reedy, as soon as it goes green, he will lead us off. And these guys, get ready. The green flag waves at Daytona International Speedway. We are underway. Austin Reedy's got a little bit of a gap out. He's got 50 behind him of Honeycutt. He's going to be pushing him all he can. And man, there's a lot of company out there. He's got the car directly behind him pushing him. That high side, though, Jordan, they are going to try to make a move for it.
Yeah, that high side's going to be a little bit of a disadvantage while they're trying to get up to speed, but you see it a lot here at Daytona on iRacing. That outside line gets that momentum ginned up, and they are fighting back, and already before we get to turn 3, that 87 has pulled back alongside the 11 of Austin Reedy, receiving a challenge from the 87 for the lead. He's going to get a little bit of an advantage here, but watch that outside line motor back, try to close that gap, and the 87 going to try to take the lead here.
Yeah, the 11 holding on to it, but I'll tell you what, if they can get that high side going, it is great out there. You can get a ton of momentum, and you're already seeing it they're doing it right now. So the high side, they're really trying to get it rolling. You can see the spacing that these guys are leaving. You got to be able to work around each other and make sure that you're not going to make a lot of contact. The only guys you're going to want to see contact out there is the guys who are pushing the leader. You see the 87 of Andrew Harris really leading that outside line, doing a terrific job out there. He's got the 14 behind him of Kelly Millinson, and they're doing great, but so far these guys are really tight. But Jordan, I gotta say, I'm impressed with the lines that they're holding, because Daytona, we've talked about it, it is a lot more narrow, but they're doing a great job.
Yeah, and right now everyone's kind of feeling the race out, just trying to get into a bit of a rhythm here, trying to figure out who might be trying to be a little bit aggressive, maybe who's on their agenda. Right now holding strong, it's basically looking like it did on the exit to turn 1, lap 1, but still Austin Reedy leading that inside line, the 87 of Andrew Harris leading that outside line. John Honeycutt and James Hudson right now in the positions to push, or that's Kelly Millinson, sorry, in the 14 that is pushing that outside line.
Not a lot of movement going on here. These guys are really holding steady, and you can see it right here. We're on board with Jaden Gimble in that 20, and a little bit of movement back and forth, but these guys are really giving each other some space, and that's what they need to do. This is really early in the race right now. We're on lap 4 of 75. He's got a guy on the outside, the 22, and these guys are really close together. So if you're a little wobbly, you hit that apron, you're going to shoot up the track, and that will cause the big one. So right now, it is best to just ride in line and make sure that you're taking care of the guys around you.
Yeah, the 22 of Jason Keffer. Know him from NASCAR Heat fame. Right now he is riding third in that outside line, trying to help push the 14 and the 87. The 50 of John Honeycutt makes an aggressive move. He's pulling to the outside line. He wants some of that clean air, and more importantly, he wants to lead as there is a battle for first place. Move John Honeycutt up to first with push from that the 87. New leader, John Honeycutt, as he moves back down to the bottom.
John Honeycutt is definitely controlling the line here, as he was up high and decided to take it down low. He is with Team FTR and doing a great job out there. Him and Jacob Locklear, they have a great strategy out there. So we'll see how it plays out for him. But his car was looking very strong in practice, and he's showing it right now.
That was a really impressive move. Got a little bit of a run, was able to pull out, got the push from that outside line, was able to clear him and then move back in. And right now the outside line is struggling. They are falling back. And now there's 3 cars in that bottom lane that are clear. The 11 moves up into the outside lane, thinks about it anyway. He's going to move back in line, didn't have the help or the momentum that he needed to be able to complete that pass. Right now, the 50 leading, the 11 in second. That is James Hudson in third. Rosen, this is a very exciting start here to this new season of PSES.
It's crazy, absolutely. You see Jaden Gimble in the 4th position, and he's just holding on. We saw Reedy in the 11. He was trying to sneak out, trying to see if there were any takers on the outside, but they didn't have the momentum, so he had to sneak back in and tuck in behind the 50 car. So he's just going to roll with it for now. He's going to try to push Honeycutt out until he can get some takers out there, which right now he's looking at it. He's testing the waters, but he does not have enough on that high side to make it roll. That high side is falling back, and he's going to stay right where he is.
Yeah, the outside line has lost all of its momentum. Now the top 5 have cleared. That bottom line starting to prevail just a little bit. That second place car of Austin Reedy, he is currently looking in and out of the line, but right now we are on board with Jaden Gimble falling, looking back at that pack, that snarling pack of cars. Right now everyone holding in line, no one being too aggressive, but this is only lap 7. I imagine lap 67 is going to be a lot different than this.
Absolutely. Mid-pack is just insane. I mean, 2 by 2 by 2, all the way back. These guys really trying to get it rolling, trying to make for an exciting race, trying to better their positions. But right now, they are doing a phenomenal job. I'm really impressed with them. And that 11 of Reedy is just all over the back bumper of Honeycutt in that 50. Doing a fantastic job of getting them out there. They have a little bit of a gap between Reedy and 3rd place. But these guys, Reedy is not holding back. He is giving it his all. But for those that don't know, if you're pushing him that much, you're going to overheat your engines. They have to watch it. But look at Doc Holliday in this 88. He has a huge run and a ton of momentum. He is using that, and he's going to take over P1. He is going to be your new leader. We're going to see if he's going to tuck down.
The 4 not clear.
Gets into the 50, and that is going to cause a wreck coming out. That's going to bring out the caution, guys.
A massive wreck there. And a note on Doc Holliday, he was 6th before he made that move. He was 6th the previous lap, made up 5 positions, but just a huge accident in the back there. It looked like the 4 tried to pull down into that inside line, was not clear, and that just stacked everybody up into each other.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to come back in a second. Little technical difficulties here, but we're going to try to get a replay on that. But absolutely, Doc had a huge momentum going in that. He's going to be our leader under caution, but take a look at this, you guys. Absolutely insane as they are trying to get back up here. A lot of cars involved in that. You see the 37, the 027, the 85, the 9. A lot of people involved. I'm even thinking the 84. So very intense wreck
that was
here.
Most of the field. Yeah, the 4 came down into the 50 just a little bit. The 50 not able to save it, and that just wiped out the field as we were riding on board with the 027. As there's just nowhere to go. The whole track is blocked. He's trying to get down on the brakes into the car behind him. The 5 you can see sliding in there. The 37 involved. Just a lot of mayhem here early in this race on lap 10.
Yeah, that is insane. You see the 84 involved. A lot of guys out here. We're going to see another replay with it from a different angle here. But man, a lot of guys trying to avoid it. You see the 15 just trying to avoid it, but he gets super loose. The 5, so much contact. So these guys are going to have to go in and repair that. I do believe that they do have one fast repair, so some of them might have to use that.
Yeah, I think there were 3 cars that made it through there cleanly that were part of that group. But call back to that pack that was staying in the that it not opted not to qualify, or I'm kind of wondering if they had stayed out of that. But right now I'm not able to find them currently on the track.
Yeah, the 84 of Jacob, I do believe he did not qualify, and I know he was involved I know Marcus Adams was another one who chose not to qualify. I did not see him in that, so we'll see how he comes out. But yeah, we're going to be going back to green after this caution. This first caution comes out. You can see these guys lining up under pace right now. Kyle Benson in the 4. He's going to be the first one out. Looks like a lot of guys have taken a pit stop. So they're going to get those fresh tires, some fuel, and they'll get that moving.
Yeah, you kind of wonder if now you would want the tires, or if you would want to wait until about the halfway point of the race so you could get the tires and then not have to take them the rest of the race, as we're watching Jason Keffer, who was having such a strong start to the race in that outside line. He was a part of that wreck. That car beat up, especially in the rear end. A lot of damage to that 22 machine for Keffer.
Yeah, he's going to have a lot of damage to repair. And you see that 5 out there on pit road. Also, you see the 4, Kyle Benson. I do believe, is he? Yeah, I'm assuming that he's going to go ahead and go in on pit road there. So we'll see a new leader coming back to the race. Lap 11 of 75, Jordan, and it has already been intense out here.
It's been intense, but it's been controlled intensity. It's just been a little bit of side-by-side action. That was just one kind of misguided move that caused that accident. For the most part, aggression hasn't really come into play here, but I imagine that to change as these laps continue to wind down. There's still 64 to go. There'll be 63, 62 whenever we get going here in this race. So still a lot of time to work your way up, a lot of time to make mistakes. So imagine those drivers on a conservative strategy are going to continue that conservative strategy for the time being, at least until that halfway point.
Absolutely. These guys are starting to line back up. We have the 15 of Corey Andon. He is going to be our leader coming back to green once we get moving. But they are getting to a crowded field behind him once again. So it's going to be very interesting to see these new guys out here leading. He's got the 87 on the outside of him. So these guys will be starting off side by side.
Yeah, Corey Andon and Andrew Harris will make up that front row. The 14 of Kelly Millinson with the 88 of Doc Holliday in the second row. Doc Holliday, before that yellow came out, made one of the more impressive moves we've seen so far in this race. Can he redo that magic, recapture that magic, I should say, on this restart? We're going to see here if that outside line can fight back. Take that lead from the inside. We're going to find out.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys are looking good so far tonight, though. A lot of tight racing as the pace car moves off, and we're getting ready to go back to green once again. And the green flag waves. We're back to green. These guys are really going to have to hold it together because, you know, you only get one fast repair. So anything after the first one that they repair is just going to be time sitting on pit road. And these guys want the points. They want all the points they can get, especially on this first race. This, you know, is what leads up to the rest of the season on how it looks. So you want to have a great race starting off at Daytona.
You absolutely do, and that adds another little layer of strategy. Do you want to use that fast repair? If you just got a little bit of damage, do you want to kind of handicap yourself here for a little bit and hold on to that? Oh, the 88 gets loose. He gets down into the 15. Big wreck. The 88 barrel rolling. The 14 involved. The 31 involved. A lot of cars involved in this one. About an 8-9 car accident going into turn 3. It looked like the 88 got into the rear end of the car in front of him to try to push him and got loose himself. Crazy looking wreck that took out a large portion of our leaders.
Yeah, we're going to see a replay on that. I wasn't sure if he got loose or he thought there was a space open, but we'll find out in a second. It is just so, you have to be so gentle when you're pushing the guy in front of you. And if you have someone on you behind you, it is most definitely going to cause an incident. You can see there's a lot of contact going on. The 88 Doc Holliday, he's just not able to save it, and off he goes, and we're already on our caution number 2 on lap 14. These guys are going to have a lot of repairs to do. We have 62 to go. There has been 4 lead changes between the 11, the 50, the 88. it's just been insane. So great racing here tonight. But yeah, the cautions, you can see a ton of damage to the 14 of Kelly Melanson, and so that can be pretty brutal.
Yeah, in real time, it looked like the 88 just got loose, but here in slow motion, it looks like he just turned down on the 15, thought he was clear, tried to make an aggressive move. Right there, it almost looks like he started to work his way left, and as they were going over that banking transition, maybe got a little bit light, but I think he just misjudged the run that he had, and he misjudged the 15. The 15 was almost to his wheel. And I said the aggression. We hadn't seen any aggression, but that was a modestly aggressive move there that did not work out, and took some drivers with him. And now we're getting into some. I would imagine we're working our way through some drivers who have gone through that first fast repair, and that's a if you're already beat up and don't have an opportunity to repair that 15 laps into the race. Imagine that wouldn't make you too happy.
I would imagine not, and you can see the 14 severely damaged. That is going to take a while to get that repaired if he's not using the fast repair, but these guys are starting to line up. You see Jason Keffer in that 22 trying to get around everyone and come back. The 14 still on pit road. You see the 50 of Honeycutt directly in front of him, trying to fix that damage, and he's getting those tires changed right now, but it's going to be a while for the 14 of Kelly Melanson out there. He's got a lot of damage, and it is not the place you want to be.
Yeah, on pit road, watching everybody go by you as you're just sitting there slowly repairing everything.
It's the worst feeling.
it's a terrible feeling.
It really is. It is no good. But you see the 87 of Andrew Harris. He is out there lined up. You see the 9 car under the yellow. We'll see how these guys line up and who the new leaders will be. Hopefully these guys will kind of get it together and come back to the racing that we saw the first several laps. I mean, they were doing fantastic out there, so just need a little bit of spacing in between them and give each other some room. They should be good to go.
Now we had about 8-9 laps of good, cordial racing, and now we've had about 5 laps of caution and 2 laps of really aggressive racing that have caused some major incidents early in this event. Still 50 laps to go. 60 laps to go. There's still 60 laps to go in this race. So a lot of time here to make up track position, and gotta be patient. But at the same time, you'd have to practice what you're gonna do late in the race. A lot of these guys are racers, and you want to lead every lap. You want to get to the front. That's just the mentality that you have. It's tough to rein that in sometimes when it might be better to just hang back and chill and take it easy and log some laps. That's definitely not what the fans watching this want to see. They want to see racing. They want to see side by side. But you can't do that if they wreck. You don't want them to run single file, but you don't want them to watch them run the pace under yellow. So you just got to strike a balance of when you want to be aggressive, when you want to be passive, and right now, haven't done that successfully these first 16 laps. We got a long way to go here with Andrew Harris about to take him to the green.
We do have a long way to go, and these guys do not have stages, so this is just pure racing out here. We have the 87 of Andrew Harris going to lead us off to green once again as soon as the pace car is cleared off. But these guys, it's just going to be super tight. You see a lot of guys have fallen to the back that had some damage. Mark Adams he's in 24th right now. He is way out in the back. You see him did not qualify, but we are back to green once again. 87 has a strong start. The 9 on the outside looks like he's having a little issue there with beeping in and out, but these guys off to a strong start so far. You have the 79 on the outside, the 87 of Andrew Harris still in the lead, but I'll tell you what, he keeps blinking in and out, so that's going to be scary for the guys around him, especially for whoever is behind them. That is not what you want to see right now.
Yeah, it looked like Jaden Gimbel popped out a line there underneath that yellow line, is fading to the back. Meanwhile, the front two still 2 by 2 holding serve, the 87 of Andrew Harris alongside Jake Roel in that 9 car, the 11 of Austin Reedy, trying to get an advantage, take over that second position, get clear of that 9, but unable to do it right now, as they're keeping a distance from each other right now. I think they've seen how these last couple of how that last restart and the end of that first green flag run went. Being real conservative up here in that top 10, keeping a lot of distance from each other as they're running 2x2.
Yeah, very tight racing side by side, but these guys look like they've settled down just a little bit. You see the 50 of Honeycutt, he is running out there directly behind the 66. So these guys are looking very strong, and these are teammates directly together. We have the 50 of Honeycutt, and then directly behind him we have the 84, which is his teammate. So hopefully they can work together. You have the 89 on the outside. These guys are running very, very smooth, and if there's a place I want to be, I'm picking the inside. It's a lot gentler to be down there, but you do have to watch the apron and how you race with it. John Honeycutt, he's still all over the bumper of the guy directly in front of him, the 66. So these guys looking pretty good, but you guys can see the camera view. He's going to take a peek on the inside just so that he can see where he's going, because once you have that close to the guy in front of you, it is very hard to tell where you are going. All you can see is the back bumper. So these guys have to give a little bit of space between the guy in front of him, and hopefully the guy behind him does the same.
One thing I have noticed from running laps at Daytona is that yellow line, it's kind of bumpy. It's a little choppy even down there on the straightaway. So you can be peeking for a little bit of just to kind of see what's going on in front of you. Then that car starts hopping around a little bit, and you can lose a little bit of pace. So it's just everything about this track it's always we're getting to go. That was the 64 of Jacob Locklear, I believe, that just lost it. Not sure what happened.
I think there was a little bit of netcode, some contact that he may have seen on his screen and obviously felt. But I know the 33 had come down. I don't know if Jacob is completely out of it. I'm not seeing a caution as it's just one car. But these guys are still moving. The 87, he is currently in second as the 9 car has a little bit of an edge out. Jake Roel and the 24, he's doing a phenomenal job out there. But man, these guys are super close. You can tell they are definitely spacing it out. The 9 car is going to tuck down directly behind the leader. Yeah, Jacob Locklear in the 84, he does have some damage. He is not going to be happy about that, as he is going to have to hit pit road to fix that.
Yeah, not really able to tell what happened. Him and the car on the outside of him kind of came together a little bit, but he looked like he was losing it on the straightaway before that. So you might be right, Frozen or Eliza. It might be a little bit of netcode that happened there. Not really sure, but either way, he made hard contact with that inside wall. That is really going to hamper his opportunity to win this race. But right now, speaking of leading this race, Andrew Harris holding on to that lead as the 9 staying right above him. Jake Roel in that outside line, 2x2x2. They're looking just like they restarted. Not really aggressively pushing each other yet. Kind of trying to feel out this restart, log some laps here. But I imagine that racer mentality is going to strike here before too long. These guys are going to go at it.
Yeah, the top 3 are certainly tight out there, but look at the leader out there, put a little bit of gap behind him. That is not good news for that guy behind him. They're going to have a run on the outside and possibly make a move to the lead, and you know if they're going to get that momentum, they're going to take it down to the bottom and grab the lead from him. You have a view looking behind, and it is so tight, Jordan. These guys doing just a fantastic job, but the 9 car right above, it is so tight. I do believe, it says 9, but I do believe that is the 24 if I'm not mistaken. I don't know why it's showing that.
9:24. It is what it is. I'm not sure. Yeah, that would be that's a 24 on the ticker, and that's a 24 on one of my screens. It's the 9 on the stream, but he is holding strong. Jake Roel in that outside lane, holding on to that second position, trying to hold off Austin Reedy while simultaneously overtaking that 87 of Andrew Harris. he's getting that momentum up. He's going to have that lead just by a hair going down into turn 1. But here's where that inside line starts to prevail again, taking that shorter distance. But then, here we go, we're going to exit turn 2, and that outside line, not having to work too hard on the steering wheel, they're going to have just a little bit more momentum as they exit down the straightaway, as they rocket down into turn 3.
Absolutely, and as a driver, this is the exciting race. This is where everything is so tight and you're having fun pushing everybody, but it's also when you have to be completely on it. You cannot make a mistake. You're tight with everyone all around you, and there is no room for error out there. You see, we're on board with Andrew Harris in the 87. He's still got a nose out over that 24 on the high side, but man, oh man, you could cover these guys with a blanket. It's been a while since I brought it out, but I'm bringing it out. These guys are just so tight together. The racing is just fantastic out here.
Absolutely is 2x2x2 holding serve is that outside line. That 30. I've been watching that 33 of Tyler Warner. He's worked his way through this pack. He's been in the inside line. He's been in the outside line. He's kind of just picked and chose his way through the field, and now he's worked his way up into that top 5, battling in that top 5. Currently in the 5th position. He'll be 6th by a hair here on this lap. Right now, the 33 has made a nice steady charge through the field, and right behind him, we saw him in that big wreck earlier, had to use one of his fast repairs, the 88 of Doc Holliday. He's working his way back into this top 10 here, trying to get back to that front.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are doing a great job trying to make their way back up through the field. You saw Reedy in the 11. I mean, he was originally out here on pole leading the field. Very, very strong driver. He's currently P3. He led 4 laps before Honeycutt took the lead over, but he is doing a great job trying to make his way back up here. These guys are giving each other some space. So right now, it's just ride and let's log some laps and figure everything out. We're going to work on a strategy. That's what I'm thinking as a driver, and see what we can do from there.
Yeah, Austin Reedy, our pole sitter, he's had to make a little bit of a comeback because I believe he had to use a fast repair on that first yellow as well. So he's done a nice job to get back up to the front where he started this race. That's where he wants to end it, as he is working on pushing that 87 of Andrew Harris back by the 24/9 of Jake Roel.
I would like to go take a look at Edward Schur, and I do believe he's in 15th position. I want to get a look at how it's going back there and what these guys are dealing with. I mean, it's so crowded up front, but you can see these guys, they're just kind of just taking it easy and letting things happen. He's a very strong driver. I mean, I've watched him throughout season 1, and a lot of these guys you're going to have to keep an eye out on. A lot of talent. He is currently sitting P15, but I don't think we're going to see him there the entire race. It's still pretty early, lap 28 of 75. We're going to see him make some moves. You can see there's a couple of guys on the high side up here, but these guys are giving plenty of room, and there's plenty of time to make some needed moves. J-Mac, take a look at that 5. Oh, we have 20 of Jaden Gimbel out there. El Solo, and that is not what you want to see. We're going to see if he can come up and, hopefully get with somebody under a pit stop. But right now he's running P17. Not a great start to his season just yet, but it is not over.
Yeah, right now the top 16 drivers in this field are currently within 2 seconds of the lead. Jaden Gimbel is that 17th place car. He is currently 14 seconds back. He's one of those that is currently damaged, either has already used up his fast repair and was involved in that accident, or is trying to hold on to it until a later point of the race. Either way, the 20 of Jaden Gimbel, not where you want to be, has lost the pack just a little bit. Going to be moving a lot slower, especially with a hurt race car.
Yeah, I do want to give a quick shout out to everyone in chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. A huge shout out to Michael from Max Speed for all the stuff he does in the production area, doing a fantastic job. But we're out there on board with the 9 of Brandon Gillis. We haven't seen a lot. We haven't talked a lot about him. but I've seen him up there making some moves. He's currently P9, and you see him trying to make his way back up there. You see the 66 directly below him, looking really good out there. I do believe that is Chandler Hayden on the inside line, but these guys are just hanging off the pack just enough where if something happens, they have enough time to make a move where they could possibly miss it.
Yeah, they're really in a pretty good spot right at the back of that main pack, that front pack. Several drivers are holding off just a little bit. They're definitely in that zone where if something happens, they want to be able to get woed down and have plenty of room to dodge it. The 9 car, he pulls out of line here. One of our top 5 drivers, basically the entire race, Jake Roel, is completely gone.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with him. I don't know where he went, but we'll try to find him. If not, we'll have to make our way back up there. But look at the 87 currently leading the field. The low line is just moving. We have Austin Reedy directly behind him. The 33 currently sitting P4. So they are looking strong. That is Tyler Werner. And the 33 with the 79, he's on the high side. That is Ryan Steenbachers. But he's kind of, looks like he's a little El Solo, but these guys are starting to try to form a single file line. But no, Steenbachers, he's going to hang on the outside. Try to see if he can get a little bit of side draft, but he's got a taker of Austin Reedy. Reedy once back in the lead, and Steenbacher might be the guy to get him there.
We had a bit of a dust up here that kind of jumbled up the field here, trying to kind of work my way through here. I'm not going to be able to get a replay on it, but there were definitely some cars that got knocked out of the draft there. A car got into the wall, went down to the inside line, got another car, I believe 2 or 3 kind of involved in that, as we were riding on board with Ryan Steenbachers, trying to make a move to get to that outside of the 11, trying to take over the lead as we have some new players out front with the issues with Jake Roel and his 24 car. Right now, Steenbacher's trying to assert himself as a player in this race, trying to take that lead from the 11. Now he is underneath 3 wide as things are getting a little bit crazy up front.
3 wide with the 37, the 7, or the 87, the 79, and the 4, and now the 33. These guys are going crazy. Meanwhile, we have Austin Reedy in the lead, but I don't know if 87 is going to be able to bring that out to the front. We're going to see. He's got no help.
They're coming up on lap traffic. They're coming up on lap traffic here while 3 wide.
The 12's going to have to move off, and he's going to get into him. That is so hard to keep the speed down and try to stay out of the track. Somehow, Jordan, these guys are still moving. Absolutely incredible. But you know that Reedy, he's got a little bit of damage from that. Possibly some other cars also. Also cost him the lead.
The Ryan Steenbacher's definitely, he is falling back. He got some major left front damage in that incident. He is falling off the pack. He's about to hit the pit road. That car has really, really fallen off the pace. A lot of damage to that left front. There has to be. He hit that left car pretty hard. It doesn't seem like enough to do significant enough damage to have hurt him this bad, but it obviously has. Otherwise, he wouldn't have just pulled out of line to make a pit stop here.
Absolutely. And you know, there's some times where you think it's not a lot of damage, but once you look at it, I mean, your temps can start rising, especially if you hit the grill or some part that has to do with the air intake there. You're going to have to go in and fix it. Otherwise, you're going to blow that engine. And it's not what you want to do here on race 1 of season 2. So he's going to have to go and repair it. But we're back on board with Austin Reedy in the 11. And he is sitting P2 at the moment. We have the 87. He is out front doing a fantastic job. We've seen him so strong tonight, along with Reedy. And the top 3 rounding that out, that's going to be the 33 of Tyler Werner. These guys just doing a great job. But the top 4, man, they are out here right together, but they're looking good, Jordan.
Yeah, meanwhile, after all that, the familiar side of seeing the 87 car, he was able to retake the lead during that little dust-up. The 11 has been up front most of this race as well. He is in second, probably doesn't want more than that, but right now this is a good spot. They have to be coming up pretty close, I would imagine, to a pit cycle here before too long. Probably just want to hang out single file right now. It's a nice opportunity to to kind of make some laps. You're in a good spot. Not really a huge front pack here. About, looks like 6, 7, 8 cars in this front pack. So not a lot. There's 7 cars in this front pack. So not a lot of opportunity to lose positions by keeping it nice and conservative. So I imagine this is going to be a point in the race where they make it real boring for us, even though that's probably the smart thing to do.
Yeah, and this is where you want to make a deal. When are you going in? What's your fuel looking like? How your tires going? Let's go in together and work together coming out. You don't want to go in alone and come out alone. You're going to lose the draft. I mean, speeds here are high. When you're working together, you're going to get further faster. So if you're alone, it's only going to hurt you. So I'm making a deal. If I'm one of these guys, I'm saying, let's go in together. We got to do it.
Yeah, so we're just going to play a game show then.
Let's make a deal.
Hey, that's what racing at Daytona can be sometimes. It can feel that random, a lot of things out of your control. You're just trying to make it to the finish, and like you said, if you can control anything, control who you work with, who comes in and helps you. As right now we're looking at Andrew Wisdom, and who is second in this lead pack, or the second pack, I should say, trying to run down those leaders who have broken away from the field.
Yeah, the 5 car, he is out there leading this pack, but Andrew doing a great job. These guys, they have to continue working together. It's going to be the same as that front pack. You have to work together and make sure that you go in, come out together, try to catch that front pack. It is not over yet. We're not even at lap 40 yet. We're over halfway, just a little bit, but there's still plenty to do out there. We have the 17 of Matthew O'Brien. He is out there running 3rd in this pack, 10th position overall. So as long as they keep doing what they're doing, hopefully they can make up some time. Matthew O'Brien and that 17 we're on board with, and I was telling you guys earlier, it is so nerve-wracking when you are directly on somebody. You cannot see a lot of the track, and you can see how, from his view, what he is staring at right now. You have to make sure that you trust the guys in front of you, that they're not going to hit the apron, that they're not going to get all swervy, and that you are able to hold it behind them, especially if you have a guy on the outside. It can be very disastrous very quickly, but right now they're running really well together.
Looks like some of these drivers might be about to pit. Looking at the chat right here. Yep, our leaders are coming into pit road right now. What's that just missed pit road? It looked like. Oh, someone missed pit road. That is Kyle Benson in the 4 car, I believe. That missed pit road. He is going to have to come back around. He is going to have to pit all by himself, and he is going to have lost a ton of time to the leaders because of that small miscue.
Really unfortunate that happened, and you saw how tight it was getting onto pit road, which is another issue. You have to make sure that you are all not going to try to get in there at one time. They went 3 wide into pit road and made it work, but you have to watch your speed and make sure that you're not speeding out there. You see a bunch of cars, 4 of them going out together. The 11 of Austin Reedy coming out last. We still have the 66 of Chandler Hayden. He is on pit road trying to get everything out there. Ryan Steenbacher's in that 79. We'll see him and what they can take out here, but these guys need to work together to try to get up there.
And that second pack there is going another lap aside from the 37 of Michael Kinzel. So right now there's a group of drivers able to go just a little bit farther. I imagine pitting during some of those pit cycles during those yellows. Going to try to stay out there just a little bit longer, make up some ground somehow. It's that way. But Edward Scherr continuing to stay on the racetrack, leading Andrew Wisdom, Matthew O'Brien, and a host of other drivers. I believe that is a group of 4 cars right now, trying to see how many laps they can make.
Yeah, our leader of Edward Scherr. He is in P1 with the 6 directly behind him. These guys are super close. The 17 of O'Brien, Hudson in the 53, and the top 5 is going to round out with Kyle Benson in that 4 car. But these guys, they have stayed out, have not gone on to pit road just yet, so they should be coming in quite shortly. But you can see Jordan, even from 18th on, they're at least a lap down, starting with Marcus Adams in that 31. We have Keffer, who is 5 laps down. So I don't think that there's going to be any coming back from that.
1 lap down if you can get lucky. Yes, 5 laps. That's not happening. You're just logging laps and enjoying a miserable night. But right now it looks like Tyler Werner, the first of those drivers who came into pit road, and more importantly, he has not lost a lap from that. He's currently 38 seconds back from our leader. So that kind of shoots a hole in that strategy of staying out, where you want to maybe put a part of that field a lap down in case you get a yellow. That looks like that's not coming, and so right now, unless there's multiple pit stops that need to be made, which I don't believe there are, I believe we're going to look at this front group coming to pit road before too long. They're probably going to just drag this out, try to log laps, log as fast a laps as they can, stay in line, push each other, and then just see how the dice falls. But right now, that group of cars that have pitted already, they're making up 2-3 seconds a lap. They're coming.
They're absolutely coming, and we're on board with the 53 of James Hudson. He's currently sitting P6. He did lead a lap earlier, but right now he's trying to make his way back onto the track, and he is out there El Solo. We've talked about it a lot tonight. Not what you want to see, but take a look at the 33 of Tyler Werner, who is currently sitting first. He's got the 11 of Austin Reedy. He's directly behind him, going to help push him out there, but right now, these guys looking pretty strong. Top 3 just right there. They're coming up on the 22 and the 15, going to try to take the outside. And they have a lot of momentum, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough to pass these two.
Yeah, that final group hit pit road, so move Tyler Werner up to the lead where he hadn't really been all race. We've seen him work his way through the field as he's trying to get some help from that 11 car to lap these drivers. That's the 84 of Jacob Locklear, the 13 who we had seen, or the 15, excuse me, who we had seen toward the front of the pack earlier, Corey Andon. He was involved in one of those earlier yellow flags that happened. He has lost a lap in this, so right now the 84 currently in your lucky dog position, while the 15, that 84, he's now racing him basically to stay in this race. He's got the 22 of Jason Keffer behind him, so 3 lapped cars making up that inside line as that outside line is trying to clear them, and really that inside line is pretty quick, being able to hold off that outside line who has more cars and more momentum. They're overtaking them now, but some strong driving from those drivers that have had teammates coming together.
Teammates coming together. The 50 of John Honeycutt and the 84 of John Locklear coming together. 50 is John Honeycutt. He is currently sitting P3, but hoping to get a break from his teammate and trying to make his way down low as the top 2 guys kind of left him out to dry out there. John Honeycutt in that 50 is going to have to try to make his way as we have a slower car on the high side. They make it through okay, but man, oh man, what a scary sight to see right there.
And the 15 almost sliced off the 9's nose there. The 9 of Brandon Gillis with a scary moment, racing with lap traffic. Gillis currently in 4th, while Andon is a lap down in the 15th position. Oh, more lap traffic here. This is so tough because this track is so tight, but the 22 gets launched out of a cannon. He's trying to get one of his 5 laps back, or 6 now. He's trying to get one of them back.
Jordan, scary situation when you're seeing lap traffic come up on you, and John Honeycutt had to give up a lot of space and time to make his way around the lap traffic. He's currently still sitting P3, but man, scary out there. We see Austin Reedy in the 11. He is all over the back bumper of the 33 of Tyler Werner. The 22 on the outside with Jacob Locklear, the 84. He's going to be behind him, but these two are just making moves and trying to stay clear of everyone around them. They want to be out there as far as they can, away from any of the trouble, as we see Jacob Locklear. He's going to pull off to go down pit road for a pit stop, but these guys are still moving.
And the 20 of Jaden Gimbel in this. Right now, the 50 of John Honeycutt, he's third on the racetrack, but he is fifth in line right now as there is a battle for that top car 1 lap down between Jaden Gimbel and Corey Andon. And they have to race each other hard because if we get a yellow to come out, that puts you right back in this event and gives you a chance to win it. But right now, not a lot of action can be done here as they're single file, the 22 trying to make something happen. He is trying to throw some Hail Marys to get back into this race. He's on the outside line, but he is all by himself.
He is all by himself, and that is not a good situation to be in, but he does have cars around him to help out. But man, oh man, it's going to be pretty tight as we're on lap 50 of 75. And you can see the 22 on the high side back there. Jaden Gimbel in that 20 car behind Austin Reedy. This is where things get interesting. I just saw Jacob Locklear on the low side coming out from pit road. Reedy out there all over the yellow. And we're going to see these guys start to get tight as they are making that high side roll. We have 3 wide right down through P3 right there. 15 and the 20 make a little bit of contact. They're holding on to it. The 27 decides, I'm not going with that. I'm going to hold back a little bit. I'm not going to make it 3 wide right now. John Honeycutt making his way up through there with them, trying to find his way to P1 and 2.
Yeah, the 15 had a heck of a run. The 20 had to check up a little bit, and he shot to the outside, but now he's starting to fall back. The 20 of Jaden Gimbel holding strong in that third position on the racetrack, even though he is currently sitting in 11th. Only 10 cars still on the lead lap. This front group, though, is hauling, even with the number of lap cars in it. Only 4 lead lap cars still right now in this group.
I gotta bring it over to John Honeycutt. I'm telling you, I'm seeing him on the corner of my screen, and there is just a lot of craziness going on right there between him and the 22. John Honeycutt trying to make a run on the outside. Let's see if he has any takers. He's got the 9 on the inside that can pop up and try to help him out there, but the 22 is going to be his closest bet. He is trying to make his way back up to the lead. He just needs the help right now, and I don't know if he's going to get enough that he needs. And the gap is closing quickly. He's going to have to try to get back to the inside and get back in line.
Yeah, they're getting side by side up here, which is exactly what this second group of cars, led by James Hudson, Andrew Wisdom, Matthew O'Brien, Doc Holliday. Those 4 cars are your 5th through 8th position cars, but they are 10 seconds back of the leader. They are trying to stay in a line here to push as hard as they can to make up as much ground as they can, and they are hoping that this race for the lucky dog and the lead heats up to the point that they can gain a number of positions. But right now, it's not looking good. They're making up a little bit of time. If they can get some draft, then they'll be in the catbird seat to make up that ground. But right now they have a long way to go, still 10.1 back.
They have a long way to go, but if the guys up front, if they keep going out and trying to make it 2 and 3 wide and jumble it up, they might catch him sooner than we think. I mean, these guys are working really well together. You see Jacob Locklear in that 84 going to the outside, trying to catch up with these guys, try to tuck in behind them, but they are working really well together right now, and that's exactly what they need to be doing.
We have a race for the lead up front. As we went to the back, the 50 of John Honeycutt, he is pulled up to the outside line, and for a moment there, he was alongside the 33 of Tyler Werner. Now he is falling back just a little bit, getting that momentum down the back straight, getting a push from the 22 of Jason Keffer, trying to get one of those laps back is the 22, trying to get the lead for the first time tonight is the 50 of John Honeycutt, but Tyler Werner going to have the strong car, the preferred line through 3 and 4 on that inside, and he is going to be the leader as we cross the stripe to start lap 55.
These guys are super close, and I'll tell you what, Jordan, I'm on the edge of my seat watching these guys go side by side. Tyler Werner, he's got just a little bit of nose out, and as soon as I say that, John Honeycutt gets a little bit of a push from the 22 of Jason Keffer, shoves them out there, and if they can keep that momentum going, he might be able to pull out directly in front of him. And there he goes. He's going to take over the lead once again. But Austin Reedy all over the back bumper of Tyler Werner. He is a phenomenal pusher, but man, John Honeycutt, Jason Keffer, he's got nothing to lose. He pushes him out there, and Honeycutt, he's just like, thank you so much. I'll see you next time. I got a race to win.
Yeah, that's such a prominent feeling out there. You push somebody, you get them clear of that inside line, and then they ditch you. You work so hard to help them, and then they leave you behind. They leave you in the dust. But the 22, you hate to see him being 5 down, because he is driving incredibly strong right now, and he, as you noted, he is a great pusher. Really, really a solid job pushing that 50 car to the lead. But here he is falling to the back of this lead pack right now. The race pretty well out of hand. He's hoping for a yellow to mix this race back up, and then another big accident to knock some of these drivers out so that he can make up a few more positions.
Absolutely. But if I'm Keffer, I'm 5 laps down. I'm going to try to get you to the front, and let's get moving. I wouldn't hold any hard feelings. I mean, the 50's out there to win a race, the 33, the 11. Keffer is too, but unfortunately he's 5 laps down. So these guys are moving, and you see the top 3 right here. They're pretty tight together, and they're doing a phenomenal job, but I'm waiting for that 33 and the 11. They've been working together a lot, Jordan. I think that they might make a run for it, hold back a little bit, make a run, and they might just pass up Honeycutt once again.
Now, right now, they seem pretty content to ride in line. That's allowing that outside line to kind of reform here, get some momentum back. Right now, the 15 of Corey Andon, he is now your lucky dog, as he has been able to get back around the 20 of Jaden Gimble. So move him back ahead of Gimble into that 10th spot right now, a top 10 spot, or 11th position, 11th. The top 10 currently are your lead lap cars. 11th right now is that battle you see on the screen between the 15 of Corey Andon and the 20 of Jaden Gimble. And that is a really important battle for when things heat up, because I can't imagine this thing goes green all the way to the end.
It's been pretty green since the beginning. After we had those first 2 cautions, a very clean midsection of the race, and we have 18 to go. So these guys are not going to be sitting so still and so chill as they are right now. Things are going to start to heat up, and like Jordan said, there is a battle all over the place here tonight. So we're going to see a lot of movement and a lot of guys making some risky moves. I think we might see a couple of cautions even with 17 to go tonight. We'll see what happens, but right now they're playing it safe and they're playing it clean.
Yeah, with the field as spread out right now, this is a heated battle though amongst these lap cars right behind this trio that are trying to lead. And behind that trio of lap cars is the 9 of Brandon Gillis, who is just desperately trying to get around them so he can get into the lead. But the 15, he wants to get his lap back the good old-fashioned way. The 22 of Jason Keffer once again pushing somebody on that outside line. That 22 doing an excellent job working with other drivers, keeping that momentum up and giving them a push. Right now the 15, he desperately wants to clear the 50, get in front of him and control this race. And you know what? Jaden Gimble wants that to happen too, because if the 15 is out front of the 50, when a yellow comes out, then Jaden Gimble will be your lucky dog, and both get their laps back. So that works for both of them.
Absolutely. A lot of strategy going on here for this final part of the race. The 50 of John Honeycutt, still your leader. He's out there for Team FTR in that high-tech security services car, doing a phenomenal job. Tyler Werner in that 33 in P2 right now. We have Austin Reedy, P3. Man, look at that lap car, just really slow compared to everyone else. They make it through okay, but when you're put in a 3-wide situation, especially something like that, it can get pretty tricky, but they handled it very, very well.
Yeah, I think he might have been a little lower than they were anticipating. The 15 and the 22 had to take some evasive measures, or I don't know if they needed to, but they acted like they were ready to, and but everyone got through cleanly. Right now, this group of 8 cars right now, 4 lap down, 4 lead lap. These laps are ticking away. We're coming to 14 to go. Everyone's kind of playing nice now. The only real aggressors is that battle for the lucky dog position that I have well documented at this point, and probably beaten into submission. But it's a very entertaining race. And watching this 22 basically push whoever he wants to the lead, even with
crazy?
2 cars against 6 others, that's very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, that outside, if you can get it rolling, it is so good. But, I mean, he was 2v, like 4, and just doing a phenomenal job. An excellent racer on Xbox. He has moved over to iRacing. And while he's sitting at P21, do not count him out this season. He's going to be a strong one. So I'm looking forward to see what he can do this season, along with a lot of other guys out here that I have yet to see what they can do. So very exciting. But we have a question also. Do they have to pit yet? Pit again, I should say. I'm not sure, Jordan. Do you think they're going to have to pit with 14 to go?
I don't know. That's interesting. I'm not really 100% sure what their status is as far as fuel remaining goes. As something exciting happened out there. Our top 3 still holding in line. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen real late, and that's going to make this finish really interesting. But as hard as that group behind them, that second group has managed to make up a second and a half now. They're at 9.1 seconds back of the leader. As hard as they're pushing, I would imagine that they are that these drivers are hoofing it, trying to get to the end here.
Yeah, we're on board with 37 of Michael Kinzel. He is in 10th position right now, and it's just been one of those races where a lot of guys got put out of contention for a win. We have 12 to go, so it's coming down to the wire, but he is working with these guys, just trying to make the best, trying to get the most points that he can. But it's going to be very interesting. But man, when Jordan was talking earlier, we had Jaden Gimbel make some contact with the lap car. I'm not sure what ended up happening with those guys, but very, very close call. But right now, Michael looking really good out here. They're just playing it easy. Not going to be like that for long, as we have 10 to go pretty soon in a couple of laps. These guys are going to get a little crazy.
Yeah, we were riding along with the 37 there in that group leading it. It was the 87 of Andrew Harris. He is a lap down now. He was one of those drivers that we saw at the front of the field for most of the first portion of this race. So just an unfortunate turn of events to end up that far back. Not indicative of how quick he was, of how well he was running earlier in this event. But that's Daytona. She's real cruel, and she'll take a good run and turn it into an awful one in a heartbeat.
We have a new leader, which is the 33 of Tyler Werner. What happened to the 50 of John Honeycutt? When we left him, he was the leader. I'm not sure what happened to John Honeycutt, whether he had to go in for a pit stop, but very interesting as we have 11 to go. It's going to change things up a little bit for him, but Austin Reedy still pushing him directly behind. So very close. We have Jaden Gimbel out there in the 20 on that high side. We have the 15 of Corey Andon tucking in. He's going to be the 4th in line right there, but very, very tight. We'll have to find out what happened to Honeycutt there, though.
He just got shuffled out of line, it looks like. Can't really get back to the front of it, but he is still in 3rd. He's 5th in line in that main group. So he's still in touch with the leaders, but not sure if maybe there was some contact that happened, maybe a push gone awry, or if they just made an aggressive move on him and were able to shuffle him out of line. But he's looking like his car might be a little bit wounded, given how far back he is, or maybe he's just decided that those two want to be aggressive and he's holding back. Not sure which is the case, but either way, the 50 still in touch with our leaders, still in that 3rd position, still having a strong run, but now he's got to get around that battle for the lucky dog to even get to our 2 leaders.
Yeah, he's got Jason Keffer on the outside, but Austin Reedy, we've seen him a lot out front as these guys make contact. And John Honeycutt just misses him. The 22 of Keffer yet involved again. A terrible, terrible night for him as he is involved in another caution out here. We're going to get a replay on that, but Jordan, really unfortunate for him tonight.
Absolutely. That was incredibly unfortunate. And hard to get a read on what happened there. Just a big old wreck.
Yeah, we're going to watch the replay on this. Man, just kind of like ricochet, a triangle directly into Keffer, and Honeycutt just misses it. We collect another couple of cars behind him, and the 27 gets collected into Keffer. Just, man, really unfortunate for these guys out here. 9 car with a ton of damage out there. Not what you want to see, but we have 8 to go, Jordan. It is coming down to the wire.
Yeah, the 20 of Jaden Gimbel made a move, got down to the inside, and the 15, not really a lot of room there, but there was a car width, and the 15 moved down ever so slightly. Just a real aggressive attempt by Jaden Gimbel, to take over that 11th position and to get into that lucky dog spot. And also involved in that wreck, as you see, there's the 9 car, who is our 4th lead lap car in that pack. So he went from being in a really good spot to now damaged and potentially out of a shot to win this race. But the 33 and 11, the only thing that they hate about that is that now that brings in that second group who absolutely loves this. James Hudson, Andrew Wisdom, Matthew O'Brien, Doc Holliday, they're back in it. Brandon Gillis, who was in that 9 car, who was involved, not as healthy, but Michael Kinsey was able to make up his space here.
Yeah, this bunches everything up. Strategy is going to change, and I said if there's a caution, we might see a couple more. It's going to bring everyone back together, as Jordan said. So these guys have their work cut out for them. It is far from over at this point. Austin Reedy coming off of pit road, a great pit stop for him. He's going to come out P3 coming off the pit road there. But
John Honeycutt wins off of pit road, it looks like.
Great stop for him. I'm curious what these guys are taking with 7 to go. I'm taking everything. I want the full tires, you name it. So we got to get those fresh tires on and get as much speed as we can. He's going to have strategy on his side, and we'll see what happens with that.
At least this takes away the question of will they have to pit. Everyone came down pit road, so I imagine that means they did. But at the very least, everyone wants tires here for the finish. Even at a place like Daytona, just whatever advantage you can get, you want to grab it. And with as few cars as there are on the lead lap, there was virtually no risk to maximize whatever speed you can get on the track. So now we come down to it'll be a 9-car dash to the finish. The 10 of Jaden Gimbel, he was your lucky, or the 20 of Jaden Gimbel, he will be in 10th, the last car on the lead lap, but he will start at the tail end of the field. So essentially 9 cars here for this restart will be battling for the win, and this is going to get exciting here as we're going to restart with about 4 or 5 laps to go.
I'm getting nervous. It's going to be very exciting, but I'm getting a little nervous for these guys. You know that these guys are not going to stay put. They're going to test the limits. They're going to test each other and try to make those risky moves. You want to get that win. I mean, I said at the beginning of the broadcast, this is an iconic track. This is the biggest race for NASCAR, and it really holds true that it's going to hold the momentum going into the rest of the season. It's a long season, so you want to make sure that you go down and have a great first race, get that win, and try to make your name out there and get those points.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it doesn't matter what league you're in, what racing league, what game you're playing it on. A win at Daytona is a win at Daytona, and obviously every single one of these drivers wants to win at Daytona here in this series. Absolutely.
We're going to have John Honeycutt leading us off in the first position. He has been strong all tonight. We have Tyler Werner in that 33 on the high side. We're going to go back to green once the pace car gets off the track here, but 6 to go at this point. Still under caution. We have Austin Reedy, who has been working quite a bit with the 33 of Tyler Werner. So will he push the 50 and try to make his way past the 33? Or will he try to go on the high side or let the 33 down? Just so many different strategies, Jordan. I'm excited, nervous. I'm feeling it all. So I can't imagine the drivers at this point.
So it looks like we're going to get one more lap of yellow here, so they will restart with 4 to go, just ratchet up that tension even more, force these guys to sit and wait and think about what move they're going to make, how they're going to approach this. I think if you're the 11, you just push as hard as you can, try to get that 50 out there, and then play it from there, try to get that move onto the outside, maybe fake high, get low. Who knows what that 11 car is going to do, but I believe the first thing he needs to do is have maximum racetrack to work with, and that means clearing that 33 of Tyler Werner.
It's going to be an intense race. Guys in chat, let me know. Who do you have winning this race? Is it going to be the 50? Is it going to be the 33 of Tyler Werner? Is it going to be the 11 of Austin Reedy? Whoever you choose, let us know. I want to hear what you have to say, but this is going to be crazy. I'm excited. Let's get it back to green racing. We have 5 to go at this point. You can see these drivers. Tyler Werner, he is looking like he wants to get out of the gate. Let him get moving. Honeycutt, he looks like he is just trying to plan a strategy, trying to hold at P1 and take home the win. I know he's got a lot of fans out there, so we'll see what happens.
It looks like Jaden Gimbel did not earn the lucky dog there. He is currently 2 laps down, might have received some damage they needed repairing from that accident that he was in, as there are still 10 cars in the lead lap. Edward Scherger, who is serving a penalty, he will start tail end Charlie on the field, but the front 9 cars, all the way from Tyler Werner from John Honeycutt on that inside line, all the way to Kyle M. Benson. Those are your drivers racing for the win here as we're coming to green.
We're coming to green, and Honeycutt is going to lead us off in that 50 car. We'll see how they go, but the green flag is back in the air with 4 to go, I should say, and he's got a great start. It looks like Austin Reedy is going to be all over the back bumper of him. A little bit of contact between the 11 and the 33, but they're okay. They're still holding on to it. The 53 is trying to push that 33 on the outside. They're going to have to get some more cars to work together to get that outside rolling. But Honeycutt, he's just looking behind him, making sure everything is clear, making sure that he's okay on that outside. He's got a race to win.
Absolutely, and back into the fray here is that 88 of Doc Holliday. We saw him up in the lead earlier in the race, made an aggressive move that kind of put him back a little bit. He's been trying to play catch up the entire day. He's going down below the yellow line blocking, but he is now the 5th car on that inside line as the numbers are dwindling in that outside line. 3 to go here. Right now it's looking like the inside line is where you want to be. The 33 gets down. Now he's with his buddy in the 11 who he's worked with all night long. We have a yellow flag.
Oh, a yellow flag, and you just saw the 11 trying to make a move. Let's get a replay on that caution. Man, oh man, my heart is racing. You see the 89 out there, the 2, they had to have made some contact there, but man, oh man, intense, and these guys, it just takes you out of that frame of mind. You have 3 to go, and a caution comes out. This once again changes everything. John Honeycutt will go under caution as our leader once again. But I can tell you that 11 and the 33, they were trying to make some moves to get out there. Let's take a look at another angle here as the 89 is on the high side. And we'll see what these guys can do.
Yeah, and after all that, the 4 of Kyle Benson, who served to benefit a lot from that yellow, well, he was in it. He was our 9th place car. So we will have 10 cars, I believe, as part of the main group battling for the win. There will be 11 on the lead lap because I believe Andrew Harris, after the race he has had, he will get back on the lead lap as we're watching replays of Cade Gimbel there. He was involved. The 5 involved as well. The 14.
5. How did he miss him? That's crazy. A great maneuverability by him to miss Cade Gimbel right there. But man, just absolutely brutal for the end of the race to go down like that. You hate to see it go down like that, but look at this right here with him just on the brakes trying to miss the car, and he manages to do so. That is Jacob Locklear in the 84. That is actually John Honeycutt's teammate. We see Cade Gimbel. He's going to be out there on pit road as we're under caution. He is all over that pace car right now, and I'm wondering, did everyone go in, or is everyone just kind of hanging back right there?
Not really 100% sure. It looks like everyone's just kind of hanging back. The 50 really, really keeping it close to the pace car there, almost like he's trying to get a little draft on him to save some fuel. You have to imagine for that last stop, they might have taken a little less fuel than they needed, maybe no fuel. So with this green-white checker situation, some of these drivers might be a little tight on what's in their tank. So you have to imagine I would assume that's probably why the field is so spread out. Everyone may be trying to save just a little bit. Anyone who got aggressive with their fuel strategy here for the end of this race.
We have a lot of Honeycutt fans out there. We have Afraid Snake going for the 33. So a lot of fans out there that are rooting for the 50 to make it home in victory lane. We'll see if that happens. Only a couple of laps left if we can get to it without another caution. I can only imagine what these guys are going through and what they're thinking right now. You're on edge. You're nervous. You're anxious. You want to get this. You want to put it in victory lane. But it looks like, Jordan, that the 11 and the 33 have been working together quite a bit. So he's going to have to do a lot of rear view mirror driving and making sure that he kind of blocks it. He's going to have to go to the high side, work the low side, kind of break their draft and see where they're going. And he's going to have to try to follow without causing a caution.
And he can't make that move too early or else he falls bait to a fake out, and he can't make it too late or else he'll be wrecked. So that's what's facing this 50 of John Honeycutt right now. He is sort of a sitting duck. He's got to play defense, and he's got to play it well, or else it could end disastrously for all of these drivers up front. Looks like we're about to get ready to double up here. I would imagine at some point. Nope, we're going to go one more lap. We're going to keep the tension ratcheted up just a little bit longer. Whew. This is going to be a fun 2-lap shootout, if this is the only 2-lap shootout we have remaining in this race.
We got another one rooting for James Hudson in the 53s, a JSR teammate. Suave out in chat there, I see you. Yeah, these guys are starting to double up, and man, oh man, we have the 11 is going to be on the outside. You saw him take a peek on the outside, trying to get a run, trying to get to the leading position. Unfortunately, caution came out, so the high side it's tough to get going. He's going to have a lot of help that he needs from the 17 of Matthew O'Brien. So how much he pushes on the outside and how clean he can do that, that's going to determine if they can make that move directly in front of John Honeycutt, who is our current leader.
Yeah, the 11 is going to need a huge push from that 17 of Matthew O'Brien. This is going to be an insane finish.
I'm nervous.
James Hudson got a shout out in chat. He's running in 5th. He's going to start 3rd on that inside line, which is a great position to be in. I'm nervous. I'm like you, Eliza. I'm incredibly nervous.
I'm on the edge of my seat. Is going to be a green-white checkered attempt number 1. Can we do it? Can we bring it home? It's going to be close.
The 33 car has disappeared on my screen and disappeared from the race, and that moves the entire inside line up a little bit here. That's going to completely change the way this finish happens as they go green here. The 50 able to hold on, a nice advantage, gets a good start, but the 11 also gets a great restart. He's going to hold tight to that right rear quarter panel, try to side draft, as there's a lot of mixing it up going on behind him.
So much contact between the 11 and the 50 as the 11 is trying to take the side draft. He's got no help behind him for that 50. So the 11, he's going to bring it down low, I guarantee. The 53 is going to get left out to dry, and the 11 of Reedy
the 17
is going to
makes
be
an aggressive move.
Look at this, 3 wide for the lead. 17 on the outside. That is Matthew O'Brien, and he is making quite a run for it. They fall back, and John Honeycutt is going to move up to P2. He's going to push Reedy.
Oh, the 53 caught him in there. Oh, and then he goes into the 87 of Andrew Harris. Harris had made his way back toward the front, only to get wrecked again. Just an unfortunate event as we have 1 lap to go. The 50 of John Honeycutt back the lead.
John Honeycutt goes back to the lead with a great move and some help with the 53. The 53 is going to push him. We're going to see if he tries to make a move, but James Hudson in that 53 just putting all he can into 50 of Honeycutt. Final lap, guys. This is it. Can he hold on to it as the 53 is taking a look on the outside? He's going to try to get that run. Austin Reedy going to try to help him, really try to take it through the middle.
Oh,
Whoa!
the 11. Oh, the 11.
Contact. Oh, my gosh, 50. He makes contact with everybody right there. And it is the checkered flag. John Honeycutt is going to be your winner here at Daytona International Speedway for the Season 2 opener. Absolutely insane, Jordan.
Absolutely insane. The 11 tried to make an aggressive move, put a little too much input into the steering, got on the apron and was spinning out. The 50 came down and finished him off a little bit with an aggressive block. Those two probably would have wrecked if the 11 wasn't already wrecking. Luckily, he was sideways, and the 50 of John Honeycutt was able to hold on there. But the 17 put an aggressive block on somebody there at the finish. That was a very, 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 very wild end to what was a very entertaining race.
Very entertaining race indeed. But we have John Honeycutt in the winner's circle right here. He's going to do a nice burnout. High-tech security services for Team FTR, which is actually Frozen Toes Racing, believe it or not. So huge congratulations to him tonight. We'll have to get the top 3 in the booth after we finish this up. But man, what an amazing race and a great way to start off your season here. But we'll see if we can get some unofficial results. It's going to be so close. You can see teammate Jacob Locklear congratulating his teammates right there. A great sight. I know John Honeycutt's got a lot of fans out here, but look at these two go at it. I absolutely love it. Very proud of these guys, but they're doing a great job. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, coming to the white. Just so much happened in those final 2 laps. Coming to the white, the 53 of James Hudson put a big block on the 17. That caused a wreck. That took him and the 87 out. And then 1 lap later, just absolute insanity coming off of turn 4 as everyone going for the win there. And yeah, the 50, after the end of it all, the smoke cleared and allowed the 50 of John Honeycutt to make a little bit more smoke of his own.
Absolutely, and there he goes doing some nice burnouts right here. Pure Speed Elite Series Season 2 at Daytona. What a great race, and he has got a lot of fans out there. All right, we're going to have to get these... We're going to get these guys to get an interview, so we'll hopefully get these. Okay, so I'm going to go in and try to get an interview with them. All right, we're going to try to get John Honeycutt in here. John Honeycutt is your winner out here. I don't think they heard any of that.
Oh my lord. Okay, I'm sorry.
But yeah, winner out here. Your strategy, we were talking about it, but I know you were saying you had a lot to thank for Reedy for that, but take us through how your race went and how the final couple laps, how did that happen for you?
It was nerve-wracking. My heart was beating the whole time. Last 10 laps, and then coming down to the green and white checkered, I was just exhausted. I was winded. My heart was racing. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether the 53 and the 11 was going to hook up and stay together. So it was tough. I felt like I really didn't have any friends out there towards the end. So I was kind of hoping that they would race each other, which they did. They ended up getting a little selfish there at the end, and I was able to somehow get in front of Reedy again, and the 53 pushed me to the front, and I was able to kind of protect the bottom, and we collided a little bit off of turn 4, and luckily I was able to keep it straight. So
you did awesome.
Let me scream again because everybody missed it. So excited.
You guys heard it from John Honeycutt, our race winner here at Daytona International Speedway. Absolutely phenomenal job. Jordan, if you want to give an interview to our second place out there.
Yeah, second place, Edward Scherer. An up and down race for you. Just talk about the trials and tribulations you had to go through during the night, and then that wild restart at the end where you managed to come out in second place.
Yeah, we were just very content, just running around the back all day, and played out in a strategy the whole way. We had a plan with me and my Nitro teammates, and then when we came to the, I believe it was the first or second green flag stop, I made a critical error I shouldn't make ever. I actually slid the tires and spun a pit road, and I had a speeding penalty I had to serve, so that trapped me a let down, and I was just hoping the caution would come out, hopefully, and I was just trying to get by everybody I could to hopefully get the lead lucky dog, and unfortunately I couldn't, but then when the caution came out, I guess Jaden, who was eventually the lucky dog, blew an engine while he was going to get it, and that fell in my favor for me to get my lap back, and then everything just played out in my way again, and I just knew from there I had to flip the switch like I did at Talladega about a month or so ago, and just go from the back and try to get to the front again. And I took my fast repair. I said, give me tires, give me gas. I'm going to the front. And right there on the restart, it got chaotic. I just picked my way through all the cars, and luckily, I don't know how, but I ended up coming home in second place, which I'm really happy about. So all in all, it was a great race. I enjoyed every little bit of it.
Well, an excellent showing. A great job of coming back from adversity. Finishing second place, that is Edward Scherer. Well done race today, and a great job of avoiding the insanity there on the final lap.
Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. Phenomenal job by these drivers. What a great time. Great racing, and a few wrecks out there that were crazy, but man, next week we're going to do it all over again at Auto Club. So it's going to be an exciting race. I'm super pumped to see what these guys can bring out there. One of my personal favorites. So we'll see what happens. But I want to give a thanks to Michael out there in production. Fabulous job. So great job to everyone. Jordan, it was fun with you as always. But we're over and out.
Just me and the old back road, riding into the moonlight.
Oh man.
I don't know if you heard me before, John. Good stuff before.